Okay, hi and assalamualaikum. We are from group 2. We will explain about multi-story parking building in terms of solve parking problems in Taylor University. Our group members is Lim Sayjing, Elly binti Zakaria, and me, Nur Amirah Syamimi binti Matnau, Nur Hairina Batrisha binti Zulhairi, and Siti Nur Atirah binti Saimid. The objective of this study is to analyze and design a multi-level parking and to provide a safe and easily accessible area for the car parking in Taylor University. And for the introduction, a multi-story car park buildings are a parking structure of more than one level, and there are offer large parking capacity in a dedicated structure. A multi-story parking must be designed with regard to heavy and varying loads and other physical stresses that are imposed by moving vehicles. And the design aims to is to achieve as large as a floor span as possible without requiring supporting column, as this restrict the available area for parking. For the problem statement, with increase in the population, number of vehicles leads to many problems like fixed congestion, wastage of space, wastage of time, traffic problems, carnapping, and car vandalism. Based on figure 1, uh, we can see that the situation when the driver faced with not enough parking problems until they had to double park another car, and this will causing traffic congestion at the car park zone. And the figure 2 shows the non-roofed walking area, and the walking distance to the parking zone also too far and makes the road user hard to get in. And the figure 3 shows that the non-roofed parking space, so it will cause the damage to the vehicles if under the sun or rain for the long period. And another problem is the parking facilities were in poor maintenance, and the condition where the road and parking place is uneven and not in good condition. Okay, for the project overview, as we can see in this slide, this is the site plan of Taylor University. Uh, Based on the observation, we can see that there is a lot of parking space, or there is a lot of open space used to fulfill the parking capacity of parking user in Taylor University. So to come up with the solution, we decide to construct a multi-story parking building in block A and B. So all the important facilities for the car parking will be included in these buildings, and the access to each floor has been provided using staircase and electric lift elevator. Okay, this is our site organization chart. Our project will be led by project manager, which is Lim Sayjing, and our site manager is Siti Nur Tirah, and the project engineer is Elly. For the site supervisor is me, Nur Amirah Syamimi, and the sub supervisor is Nur Hairina Batrisha. For the methodology, we started with plan first, like we describe the problems and we come up with a lot of solution. Then we analyze all the solution there is suitable or not, and then we pick one solution. So we design the car parking buildings, and then we proceed with detailing and estimation. Okay, that's all.
In literature review, we have mechanism of multi-story parking, installation work, specifications, and also the advantages and disadvantages of multi-story parking. First is about mechanism. Multi-story parking take place in a building that's specified for automobile and have number of levels. Commonly, a multi-story parking building have a capacity of 500 cars and 5 to 6 levels. Two types of multi-story parking, which are automated and also conventional. Automated multi-story parking is a parking that use computerized system to park and retrieve the vehicles. For conventional multi-story parking, it have three compartments, which are ramp system, layout, and floor system. For ramp system, it divided into two, which are system and also types. The system is clearway and also adjacent system, and the types is straight and curved ramp system. For the layouts, it have 5 parallel, perpendicular, 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree. And the last one is floor system, split and sloping floor system. For the installation work, steel is one of the construction materials used in constructing the multi-story parking building, as it is advantageous for the construction building. There are a few of standards and regulations that need to be considered in constructing the multi-story parking building. The first is angle of approaches, ram slopes, ram grade transition, ram width, ram radius, ram turn super elevation, ram grades, angle of departure, ram brake over angle, and driveway exits. For the ram appearances, we consider with architectural and optical effect, signs and wayfinding. And for the other aspects, which are vehicle control, considered with fee collection, barrier capacity, and also lighting. For security and safety aspects, good ventilation, non-slip floor surface can be used, security devices such as public phones and also emergency button, and last one, elimination of potential hiding places, such as under open stairs. For fire precaution aspects, structural fire resistance, means of escape, and also fire precaution, such as have adequate fire breach access, dry rising main, and also fire points. Now the next one is specifications, which have criteria. Criteria of a multi-story parking is safety in use, clear visibility, parking space marking exists to enable drivers to remember the location of their vehicles, integration into the context of town planning, clear views to the outside, and also have good natural lighting and also good ventilation. For the general guidelines for constructing the multi-story parking, must consider basement parking, podium parking, independent building for multi-story car parking, and also rooftop parking. For the advantages and disadvantages, we have two types of parking, from automated and also conventional. For the automated parking, the advantages is increased capacity, which is high space utilization due to lower ceiling height, dense parking, and also reduced space width. Second advantages is no ventilation or HVAC required, and it will save the utility cost. The third is safety and security is enhanced, and the fourth is commonly it requires less building volume and less ground area than a conventional facility with the same capacity. While it have advantages, it also have its cons, which is high cost in operation and maintenance, and also many structural and functional types of automated mechanical system exist, such as underground system and above grade that intersect with neighboring buildings in architectural appearance. For conventional parking, you have 5 layouts: parallel, perpendicular, 30°, 45°, and 60°. For parallel layout, the advantages is it works well in extremely narrow or linear spaces, and it requires minimum pavement area. For this disadvantages is difficult maneuvering for most drivers, less than ideal visibility of adjacent traffic, and inefficient use of on-street space. While for perpendicular, the advantages is works well with either one or two-way aisles, handles the most vehicle per square meter of pavement, and also handles most vehicle per linear meter. The disadvantages is it requires widest area, difficult maneuvering for some drivers, and also two-way traffic can create some visibility problem. While for layout to degree, the advantages is easy parking and reduced with requirements for layout, while for the disadvantages it requires the most pavement per vehicle, and it doesn't work well with two-way aisles or two-way path. For layout 45°, the pros for it is reduced with requirements for layout, easy maneuvering in and out of parking spaces, and good visibility to the rear. While the cons is doesn't work well with two-way path, it requires more pavement per vehicle than perpendicular parking configuration. While for 60° layout, the pros is in and out of parking spaces, good visibility, lends itself to either one or two paths, most common short-term parking configuration. While for the cons is requires more pavement per vehicle than perpendicular configuration, and it also handles less vehicle per linear meter. For the floor system, it have two, split level and sloping. For the split level, the pros is construction is relatively simple. It design fits well in rectangular sites, and it also efficient in terms of floor space per vehicle parking stall. While for the cons is frequent conflicts may arise between circulating traffic and parking and unparking vehicles. While for sloping, the pros for sloping is the relatively flat floor slope permits comfortable parking and pedestrian walking, while for the cons is cause congestion during peak outbound movements. That's all for me.
Hi, my name is sayjing. Now I will start my part, which is for the solution. And this now I will show you our solution, which is the multi-story parking system. So this is the multi-story parking building. We use this multi-story parking system as the solution in which to overcome the parking problem. So by using this multi-story parking system, it helps to increase the number of the parking, and it's also use less open space for the landscaping, which is only used one spaces but can increase the number or multiple car can park in some amount of the spaces. So this is the lift, and this one is the staircase, which is easier for those at the highest level. And each multi-story system is consists of 6 levels, and Or the amount of the parking for the car is about 300 car and 100 of motorcycle can be parked in this multi-story system, in which is the amount of the car park is higher than the not parking, which uses the same amount of the spaces, but the amount of the parking is less than multi-story system. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Sitya Natira, will presenting for purpose idea. For this part, we choose multi-store parking as the solution. The reason why we choose to build multi-store parking because of first, it saves space and money. Second, it has lower operational, construction and finishing costs. Third is, this method can increase customer satisfaction. The plan for this building was prepared using SketchUp software. The plan includes putting parking structure part together. The part of the precast concrete, incomplete multi-store precast concrete walls, columns, precast concrete floor, beams, flat slab, and grading. For the design of the beam, a reinforced concrete beam should be able to check tensile, compressive and shear stresses as induced by the load of the beam. The limiting moment of resistance of the given section is calculated, and it is compared with the maximum bending moment of the section. If it's less, the section is designed as the doubly reinforced section. For design of column, the column is a compression member, the effective depth of which exceeds 3 times the least lateral dimension. For this project, the square column has been chosen for the building. The length of column depends on the strength of the material, structure and size of the cross section, and the length directional resistance. For the design of slab, the flat slab counted in the sample were of discontinuous configuration and hence the simply code method for determining the strength action. Common practice of design and construction is to support the slab by beam and support the beam by columns. The slabs, which are directly supported by columns, are called flat slabs. That's all from me.
Hi, for conclusion, this project has concluded in several terms, such as practically, innovation, cost effectiveness, the benefit of system to society, and safety. This project has concluded in terms of practically that the idea of parking on site will be considered while proposing a parking solution in an accidentally study area. Parking issues: environmental, social life, illegal parking, obstruction of parking, parking of vehicles left on the road, vandalism and loss, and aesthetics commonly overlooked and ignored. University parking issues are limited not only to the supply and demand of parking, but also the proper use of existing parking spaces. Next, in terms of innovation, the soft parking programs will come out to multi-level parking system, which is additionally used nowadays as a tool to properly utilize the existing parking facilities. In terms of cost effectiveness, the utilization of existing parking facilities or spaces can be optimized by providing subsidized parking schemes and reducing overall parking costs. This is a multi-level parking system. The benefit to society. This concept, such as centralized parking, shared parking, and private car parks, are applicable and acceptable by the community. It also comes with lower maintenance, operational, and cost construction. Next, keeping in view the findings from the observations, it is concluded that less parking space and illegal parking are major problems providing in a study area. The last benefit is multi-level parking system results in optimal space, utilizing as multiple cars can park in the same amount of space. The last term is safety. The concept of financially feasible, conform with policy, and if implemented, can add a lot to the reliability and safety of the area. So, the most efficient strategy is to develop a multi-level parking system that can improve in terms of parking performance and quantity. And by parking in specific areas, cars no longer block social roads. Thus, reducing traffic.